Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Doll Coven. I'm Julie, and with me, I have a special guest and lovely friend, Rumer. Hello, Rumer. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, the reason I invited you on is because, well, I mean, you were kind of my gateway into American Girl. And for the people watching, so Rumer and I, we actually first connected via TarotTube because we both have tarot channels. And then, we started talking dolls because I had been collecting, pull-ups and Blythes and some Barbies. And then Rumer got into American Girl. So we started chatting American Girl. And I would say, yeah, you were the one to kind of really get me curious about specifically the 18-inch, because prior to that, I only had Emerson/Gwyn. And if any of you have seen my previous video about American Girl, then I tell my whole journey there about how I was not about that doll whatsoever, not about the American Girl dolls at all. So I have you to partially thank for that.
/ blame.
Blame, enable.
Yes.
No.
Because I remember you had, it was at least part of the reason was like the squishy bodies, the fabric.
Yes. Yeah. We're just going to be very honest in this video about, and no disrespect to American Girl, but I found some of their faces to be uncanny. Some of the face molds were just very uncanny. I don't like teeth on my dolls. I just don't like them. The squishy bodies were very broke my brain for sure. The vinyl and then the squishy bodies is just like, why are we not matching here? Because the Welly Wisher does have like full on vinyl. All these things were just like, hell no, absolutely not. I will never go for an American Girl, like the larger doll.
Yes.
So I would like to know, and you've shared this on your tarot channel, actually, what brought you to American Girl? I mean, I think really the first experience that started it all, you were actually at an American Girl store with a family member or something like that? Or was it even before? Okay.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's funny because when I think of my American Girl origin story, I'm floored that it didn't begin much sooner than it did. Because when I think about it, this company was founded 2 hours from where I grew up, the year that I was 10 years old. So, I mean, target market much, like I would have been primed and ready for that. I never knew about it. I had never even heard of it as a kid.
I didn't either. And I feel like you and I mean, we're around the same age. And I almost feel like I've always said it felt after my time. I never knew about it until actually I was an adult. I was like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I associated it with like my nieces. So that's when I first learned of it. So yeah, like to learn that this was founded in Madison, Wisconsin, when I'm growing up outside of Chicago, I just was thinking, where was that? And I was talking to my mom about it too. And she doesn't have any recollection either, unless it was on her radar and she just dismissed it because as a kid, I wasn't into dolls. Mm-hmm. So maybe if she had heard of it, was familiar with the catalog, she wouldn't have requested one because she knew neither of her daughters wanted dolls. And so she just invested in stuffed animals for us. And also, I think for the price point, it looks so great now if you look at an 80s price, but if you adjust for inflation, it's always been pricey. And there's no way my parents were spending that on toys for us then. So I feel like it's a moot point whether I knew about it or not. I wouldn't have had it. So I first became aware of it, like I said, when my nieces were getting them as gifts, and they would have these special trips into the city with their mothers and grandmothers. And 1 year ago, almost 1 year, I'm still within, it was probably about this time that my eldest niece and I, one of them who had two of the dolls as a kid in the 90s, we listened to the same podcast, and there was an episode devoted to American Girl. And we just thought it was funny because the podcast is hosted by this dude from New Zealand who knows nothing about American Girl, but that's the point of the podcast, is exploring all things Americana. So we just thought it was so funny. And he was talking about going to the cafe and how they let him borrow a doll to like have lunch with. And he had cocktails. And so we're like, oh my God, you don't even need a doll to go to the cafe and you can order drinks. And so we were just joking around, like, let's just do it the next time I'm in town. Because I live overseas in the UK now, but she's still in the Chicago area. And Chicago was the first store. So I guess that's when I first heard of it, when they opened that American Girl place. Yeah, last March. I'm in town. My niece books the reservation. We go to lunch. We borrow dolls because hers were in storage. And so
do you remember
well.
which dolls? Sorry.
Yes, she has Samantha and Kit.
Okay.
And they have since been unearthed. My sister has dug them out for her.
Well,
and so now she has them. Yeah. So she didn't have one with her that day, though. So we both borrowed a doll off the shelf that they have at the cafe. And they have the little seat for them that mounts on the table. We ordered martinis and we had so much fun. And yeah, I bought a doll while I was there. I bought the doll, the same model that was the one that I borrowed. I did go thinking, if I'm doing this, I'm going to walk out with a doll.
Yeah.
Just thinking I'm being silly, but we loved it. We loved it. Everything about the displays and learning about the doll hospital and the salon and seeing little girls getting their hair done to match their dolls and celebrating birthdays and wearing the same outfit as their. I mean, it was just like everything was so cute. We lost our minds.
I want to go to the American Girl Cafe. So, I mean, I've been to the store. I have seen the cafe. I have yet to actually partake in the cafe experience. And so I'm just like, I need someone to do this with. I mean, Matt, I don't think he'll come with me into the store. I don't know that, I don't know. Maybe I could get him. Maybe I could get him to sit with me in the cafe, though I highly doubt it. So it's like I wish I had like an offline dolly friend that was local that would come with me to do this stuff, because I totally would. But
I am determined to visit so we can make this happen, because I think it would be a friggin' blast.
Do you have, it's 2 now, right?
Yes.
Total of 2.
Yes.
Will you show us your 2 American Girl dolls?
I shall.
Yay.
So starting with the one I bought that day. She's Truly Me, 107, I believe. So yeah, let me tell you, it was slim pickings at the cafe for what you could borrow. And so my niece was like, oh, there's one that it looked the closest to me at the time, being brunette. I technically have hazel eyes, but they used to be brown when I was younger, like this. And I feel like they probably generally look brown anyway. So we figured it was the closest thing, straight hair, brunette. But I knew it wasn't like a total match to be exactly a mini me, but that was the general idea behind it. And like I said, we had lovely lunch conversations. So I felt like I was going to run with that. So so this is Sutton, who I named myself, since she is a Truly Me that came without a backstory. But now when I was going to the cafe with it in mind that I was going to get a doll, I was thinking either I would try to find a mini me, or as far as the ones that had identities, looking at the historicals, I was all about the 80s. I lost my mind when I saw that there was an 80s doll, and I loved her collection. So I was thinking, I might go for Courtney. But they also have the Disney princesses, and Ariel is my princess. So I was like, so I was leaving it to being there in person and seeing them. And I didn't feel like I was vibing with Courtney herself as much as I loved her collection and her whole 80s section. I really wanted that. And then Ariel, I thought was so beautiful, but I guess in my mind, I was thinking she would have to stay with her collection as Ariel, that it wouldn't be something I could dress in other things. So then this is what happened, because I didn't want Courtney herself, but I was dying for her collection. The light bulb went on to make Ariel my 80s doll.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I can make you bigger. Oh, no, that didn't work. Okay. I just wanted to make you a little bigger so that we could see Ariel better.
All right. So here she is. Because she's got the nice big wavy hair, which is just, oh my gosh, I can't do this right. Here we go. But I mean, she's got the bangs.
Yeah.
She's got the hair for it. And with that like bright collection, and there's so much pink.
Yeah.
This fiery red is so much fun with that. So she's wearing Courtney's meat outfit from the waist down that I was able to find on eBay.
I love
for
it.
the winter, I've got her in a sweater. And this was just like a truly me back to school set that this came from, but looked like something I would have worn as a kid in the 80s. And so this, she's Ariel, but she also has her alter ego when she's in her 80s clothes. As you know, trying to think of a mashup of the names between Courtney and Ariel, I landed on Coral.
Love it.
She's got a Gem in the Holograms style alias when she's in her 80s garb. So yeah, it was just perfect because it's like if I wanted those two, now it's blended.
I'm so glad that you went with Ariel because I felt like we had these conversations and I'm like, you're not feeling Courtney. I don't feel that you're feeling Courtney. And I think we could totally do what you want with Ariel. I mean, so many people, so many collectors really just make the dolls their own and dress them up however and customize them and re-wig them and like use the eye chips and do all sorts of things. So
I think it took me time to realize that people were doing that, and for me to loosen up and realize that I could make these dolls. I could get any of the historicals and make them something else if I wanted to. Like at first I thought that would be disrespectful to do if they came with a whole backstory, but no, I get it now. So because and it's no offense to Courtney. I don't want to be offending anyone.
No.
You might love her. She's adorable. I just didn't. I think it's because, as a brunette and in the 80s, especially that blonde hair, blue eyed seemed to be the prized coloring of the 80s. And I just didn't. I couldn't be a part of that unless I wore blue eyeshadow. And I don't know, the ringlets.
Yeah.
I felt like if it looked more like a perm, that would be good. But but I appreciated it gives her the big hair, but she's my little brunette.
Yay. Oh, they look great together. They do.
They seem to get on well.
And and you found such awesome clothes for them too. I just feel like that is where I am needing more clothes. I just need more clothes. I don't have nearly enough. So
I feel ridiculous going down the rabbit hole on that and how much I have accumulated in less than a year's time. But then again, I figure I don't really buy clothes for myself these days.
Same.
It's weird that I'm spending more on doll clothes than for myself, but
cheater
on them.
I feel like I've said before with doll clothes, it's like I can live vicariously because it'll always fit. It'll always fit them. When I buy clothes, it's a miserable experience because I never find anything that both fits and flatters. So I don't enjoy it. But with doll clothes, like, if you know what you're looking for, it's going to fit and it's going to look great. And
exactly. It's so satisfying.
It is.
It is. And it's like, for me, I'm like, I'm middle-aged now. Who's looking at me? So it's like, I just feel like I don't have to try that hard, but I'm looking at them and I'm enjoying them.
Exactly. I mean, like where am I going to wear, a dress for Lunar New Year? Do you know what I mean? But Corinne can.
She can.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
She looks so pretty.
So Lunar New Year was yesterday. Everybody. So she'll probably stay in this for probably the rest of the month. I get lazy about changing out their clothes though, but so I mean, you can just buy so many different outfits and costumes and like things that I could never wear or would have no balls to wear. You can.
Oh my gosh.
American Girls.
But I just was so surprised because I said before how I was never into dolls as a child. So this is like honestly all new just in the last year. But and I wouldn't say it's, into dolls like across the board, but I just really found these so endearing. I think they're so pretty. And I just never realized how like soothing it is.
They are.
Change their clothes and to brush their hair. And it's just, I don't know.
And just like the squishy body. I get it. From a tactile standpoint, I really do get it. Like the huggability.
Yeah.
I'm coming around. Just, maybe not as I still aesthetically, looks wise, don't love it, but I like tactily, I really do get it. And these are hefty gals. These are.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they are.
Heavy. So.
I know, but it is true. Like you wouldn't think you'd pick something like this up and be like, oh, but they are. And that does make such the difference.
Do your family and friends, like how much do they know about this newfound hobby? Like your husband, like how do they feel about it? How have they reacted to it?
I think at this point, everyone's aware. There might be some friends that don't know, that are like back in the States. I haven't exposed myself to, but yeah, the family knew because everyone knew about this outing and I had my doll out and I was just showing her to everyone.
That's awesome.
And then the next time I was home, I got Ariel. And so then she was out. And so yes, they have been really excited about it, actually. Like even my brothers, I was like surprised. I was waiting for someone to roll their eyes. No one has done that.
That's awesome.
They're just like, oh, they get a kick out of the clothes. And like my mom, I mean, this became a whole thing because it is, well, for American Girl, if I'm going to order something from the UK, I cannot have it shipped here. Mm-hmm. Amazon's an option. You can do that. You just pay more for shipping for the international, and they don't have everything available on Amazon. Right. So a lot of the stuff I am getting is in the States, and even with a lot of like the eBay and Etsy sellers. And so I will visit home every few months and there will just be a stack of packages. And that's part of the problem too, because I think I like forget what I've gotten because I'm not receiving it right away. Mm-hmm. And I think that's added to my accumulation. Because I'm ordering it and then I'm not seeing it for like weeks or months. Mm-hmm. And I'm waiting for my mom to be like, but no, she loves it. She's just sitting and she's watching every little thing. And she talks about how when she was a kid, she had these like nice Alexander dolls, but she said that they were too nice and she wasn't allowed to like dress them and play with them. They had to just stay on a shelf and be looked at. Right. So as I have been going through this process of opening all these things and her just being so excited and like handing her all the little items and she's just, oh, and just fawning over the detail and everything. And also one morning she admitted to me, she woke up before I did. She admitted that she was talking to one of my dolls before I got out of bed. That's great. So I was like, last Christmas, I thought someone needed a doll. Yeah. So then, as you know, I did. I got Raquel for my mother. And it was a similar thing, though, where I thought for my mom, she would want the 1950s doll because Mary Ellen's outfits. Yes. Oh, I love her. I mean, that's my mom's nostalgia, 50s and 60s. So even some of Melody's clothing. So I was like, I just don't care for Mary Ellen though. She looks like Courtney. Mm-hmm. She's basically Courtney.
My mother-in-law has Mary Ellen. That's the only one she has. But yeah, she has that older mold, right? The classic mold.
Yeah, she has the same bangs as Courtney. The hair color, maybe she's more of a strawberry blonde, and it's wavy versus those ringlets, but it's basically the same doll. So I'm like, okay, my mom is also brown-haired, brown-eyed, like she's going to want a brunette. So yeah, I got Raquel, but with some of Mary Ellen's clothing. And she's so adorable.
The picture you sent me with the poodle skirt and the little sweat. Oh my God.
That black skirt with her black hair. It's just
it was perfection. And I showed my mother-in-law and she was like, I love that.
It works. It works. You put her hair up in a ponytail. She's
great. She looked awesome. It's so much fun. And, especially like these days when there's so much to be worried about and concerned about and sad about, it's nice to dissociate with something as fun as American Girl. So,
it is.
So that's definitely been one of my big dissociation mechanisms for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I'm still, I'm still very much learning about American Girl. I consider myself like a newbie, newbie, you know.
Same.
So, well, I feel like you know more than I do. I feel like you're like,
It's all relative, though.
I feel like if I needed some information, I could go to Rumer and be like, I have questions, and you would help. But yeah, so I mean, I know there have been recent releases and such that you and I have talked about. So I thought we could kind of share our opinions on a few of these things. Okay. So as we are just right on the American Girl site, we are seeing the most recent controversy, or you know what? It feels like generally people are just like not very happy overall with these modern era dolls, because they are the 14-inch, which, you know, many AG collectors gravitate toward the 18-inch dolls. I guess they don't like the ways in which the dolls are rendered in modern day. Like the throwback isn't what they're, you know, and I guess the face, I guess they just don't like anything. Like they don't like the face mold, they don't like, you know, and I have to say, as someone who's come from, you know, collecting other types of dolls, and who started out with, like, I started out with Gwyn, or, you know, Emerson. I look, just kind of in defense of these modern era dolls, like, give them a chance, like give the 14-inch a chance, because they're lighter, like they're more compact, you know, like if you want to take them places, they're just like smaller to take, like, I don't know.
And like you said, that there's not that issue with the different
There's
bodies.
not exactly, the bodies are all one, you know. Yes, it doesn't have the huggability factor, but they're just, to me, it's like they're just so, like, look at her, she's so light and compact.
I mean, all that you have said has been my observation as well, as far as how they have been received by the greater community that does seem to be collectors that have been steeped in this for quite some time, not new to it in the last year.
Yeah.
Like you and myself.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where whenever I see that greater response, in the negative specifically, it's never that I can't see where they're coming from when I put myself in their shoes, that if this is something I have been following from a long time, if I knew it from its origins, especially as Pleasant Company, and how like the historical characters were the foundation of it. And I've seen, watching the hardcore collectors on AGTube, you know, sharing their collections. So much has been retired, including some of the historical dolls themselves. And so they used to come with like such a breadth of things, and like nice wooden furniture, and you know, things are more plastic now. And so it's like, I understand when they're making these comparisons, that like all of these sets and clothes were available at one time, and they were of like impeccable quality, but that is also what made them expensive even then.
Yeah.
I do have to laugh every time I see a comment where someone's like, this only cost this in like 91. And I'm thinking, have you done an inflationary adjustment on that? Right. Like, you can't just look at the price tag.
Yeah.
It was still quite expensive. And so it's not that they're not now, but there is something to be said for like, yes, when the materials get swapped out.
Yeah.
But it does make it more accessible. So, I mean, I am going to be a proponent of things being more accessible to more people if it helps it reach a price point that someone could have it when maybe they couldn't. Because like I said, like, I'm getting these dolls now as an adult, but my mom would not have bought that for me as a child at those prices, and definitely not gotten the whole set. So I see that it's like, okay, they were heirloom quality to be passed down for generations, and that children learned the history from them. So it's like all of that. I can't possibly crap on any of that. That is wonderful that they were so treasured, and that there is that idea of education behind it, that's what it was founded on. I guess where I come from is that I guess because I am newer to it, it's easier for me to say, but it's been 40 years.
Yeah.
So these things change.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this is a company and they need to do what they need to do to even stay in business. Otherwise, no one gets anything.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have is what you can buy secondhand out there. So I guess as I see it, what did exist is still out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't necessarily replacing that. I understand they don't offer the same breadth for the historicals and everything, but you see them being shown with their 18-inch counterpart. Those dolls are available still.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just an extra thing. And it seemed like people were excited when they thought that they were going to be 18-inch and revamped in a modern style. People seemed okay with that.
Yeah.
They just don't seem to like it on this size. And so I think it was, and I get it. When I first saw what they were, I knew instantly people were going to be disappointed because there is just that stigma out there.
I agree.
But I love them. I think they're adorable. As a new thing.
Yeah, I think they're adorable too. And especially, just seeing on the site when they're paired with their historical, counterparts, it's just like, I think they did a great job overall. When you look at them together, it's like, I see where they made the leap from one to the other. And to your point, I totally understand that, okay, these are 14-inch. And, we all know that a good majority of the adult collectors prefer the 18-inch. So that was an interesting choice that they made. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I like them. I like them. So
too. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't have more releases in mind. Obviously, like it's February.
Yeah.
And they're celebrating a 40-year anniversary. I feel like there just is going to be more. I feel like they probably are sitting on all these cool surprises that they have put so much planning and thought and actual love into and have been so excited for what the community is going to think just to get crapped on. Not everything is for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't buy it. There will be something that you will like that you can buy, even if that is just going to the secondary market and buying the pre-existing stuff that already exists. A company like Mattel, they're pouring tremendous money into that. So they need to go with where those trends are too, even if people's sentimentality and nostalgia tugs them in another direction. And I can see a lot of little kids liking these smaller dolls.
Yeah.
And I feel like the proportions, I know, is something that a lot of people don't like. They feel like, oh, their heads look so big compared to their bodies. But that's kind of the trend now.
That's kind of the trend now. It's not even kind of, it is the trend now. And so I think, it just seems like American Girl, they're trying to keep up with those trends and to evolve. And try different things. And so I actually commend them on taking the leap to try something different as maybe going for a 14-inch. I'm sure they must have in some capacity anticipated that some collectors would not be happy that they were the smaller dolls, but they took the leap anyway. And so I guess we shall see what comes of this. I personally think they're cute. And I think a lot of people haven't said much about, I would say I love Molly. And I don't think I've heard a lot about this modern era Molly. I think she's adorable. I think they're all actually pretty adorable, but
yes.
I don't know.
Across the board, I think so. Yeah. Molly, at least as far as what I have heard and seen online, which is limited, but still, Molly seems to be the one slammed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, look at her. But why? I don't understand.
I don't know. And people have said that she has red hair. I think it's brown. I think it's light brown. So maybe it's just how it shows on some screens.
I don't know. It looks brown to me, but
and it's described as brown in the description. And, she and Kirsten don't have the bangs.
Okay.
Like they kept it for Samantha, but it's like you don't see girls these days
With a lot of
wearing
bangs,
that like we
exactly.
did when we
Yes,
were little. So it's
yes,
like the fact that they kept it with Samantha, at least they kept it with one. And
yeah,
yeah, I think Chloe looks adorable.
yeah. Oh,
I
yes.
love that.
Look at these little, what do you call those? The little
The
buns.
space
The space
buns.
buns. I
Yes.
mean, that is modern. That is modern.
Immediately thought that was so adorable. And I actually thought people would love it because I'm like, oh my God, of course, Kirsten, because she has that do. Like, that's perfect for her to have that
Yeah,
kind of spin.
yeah.
No, they hate
No.
it. Oh no.
And I want to talk about these gals now
Yes.
because these were
Amazing.
also roasted to death by many, many collectors. And you and I had talked about this before too. I was like, I don't understand because I think they're cute.
Oh.
I'm like, I guess I'm missing the memo. And again, you have to understand, I'm coming from a place where I'm like a complete newbie, and I'm coming from like Barbie. I'm coming from Mattel. So it's the criticisms toward these dolls and the idea that like American Girl is Mattelifying like American Girl by giving them like more makeup and this kind of different look. I'm like, see, that appeals to me because I have dolls like this.
People have different preferences.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
and I understand they're I guess meant to be younger. What American Girl is supposed to be like 9, 10, and then these younger ones are meant to be what? I don't know,
I
7,
don't
8.
even know
I,
for these.
but like, I think what appeals to me is that they look older because I tend to gravitate toward older looking dolls. That's the other thing about American Girl. That's one thing where I was put off by the fact that they did look younger. And I am more about, the pull-ups and the Barbies and the ones that look more mature. So the fact that these girls are wearing makeup, I'm like, they look a little more mature. And so that's what I like about it. And I also understand the criticism when people are like, yeah, but they're supposed to be like, 6 or 7 years old or whatever, 7 or 8 years old. And now they're wearing makeup and they're made to look older. And, what's happening to American Girl. I do hear that. I guess even in American Girl world, though, it's malleable because, you have, say, I don't know, like Corinne is supposed to be what, like 10 in her book, 9 or 10 in her book, but like in the movie they made they made her older,
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay.
They made her a little bit older.
Yeah.
Raquel, like she's got a beachside car for an accessory that she can drive around in. For a 10-year-old, like, I mean, do you know what I mean? So I think we can make allowances, maybe stretch the imagination a little bit.
I feel like there is some
leeway. There's some.
Yeah, and who says, like, does the website itself specify how old these
They actually
dolls
don't.
are supposed to be? Because I feel like why even attach an age to it? Because I look at them and I do just, even though they've got like, rounder, maybe babier faces, I still kind of look at them like they're teens.
Yeah, and I've kind of just looked at them that way as well. Like, I mean, I do feel like, Gwen, the Welly Wishers do look younger to me, but like with the American Girls, I do in my mind dress them more adult. Like, I feel like they are a little more like teenager, like older than 9 or 10, but I've noticed that a lot of, people in comments and things like that, when they're critiquing, they're like, oh, well, these dolls are supposed to be like around 9 or 10 years old, or these dolls are supposed to be younger. And that's part of the point they're making about the way they look and how they're looking older. But so it's nothing that I don't think American Girl, at least not to my knowledge that I'm seeing like on the site, but certainly in the books, I think they tell their age. But again, I take my own creative license with that. And like I said, some of these accessories and clothes like don't feel, I mean, if we're going, strictly by that barometer, they don't, beachside car does not feel 9 or 10 years old. Like, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like, stuff like that.
I can see too, like at the time I was listening to all the critiques and totally took on board what they were saying, where you can see if people were critiquing quality, like if you look at their shoes are very plasticky and a lot of the accessories they came with and the way that they're packaged, like coming in the box with all the accessory doesn't look like the way that like Welly Wishers or American Girl dolls were sold. It does look more like what you would find out at a toy store.
Yeah.
Or Target or something. But I actually heard the speculation that maybe this was a line that was considered for like being sold through a retail store that was not American Girl, and that maybe that changed. Maybe it was designed for that, and then for whatever reason they decided to sell it through American Girl directly. I have no idea. So it's like when people were saying that, it made me notice, okay, I can see that difference in packaging and maybe even if you wanted to argue quality. And yes, I see they're wearing a lot more makeup than the other dolls. So yes, it's definitely a departure from what they traditionally had. But again, it's just something different. It's not in place of anything that exists.
Yeah. This AG sister is my favorite. Like I almost bought her. Having started off with a 14-inch, I guess I'm a little more open to this size and definitely again, teeth, but I'll take it. Like, she's just, I do like that kind of more mature look to her. Like that's just a personal thing. It's subjective for everybody, but anyway, so yeah, it's just very interesting. I think, like you said, something for everybody. And certainly, of course, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And then, okay, put your money toward the things that do bring you joy.
I guess if people are saving their money on these newer releases, then it's more that they can spend on eBay for a 1988 Samantha or an old trunk for Kit or whatever. I mean, if they really want to go OG with the Pleasant Company stuff, which you see some doing and seem perfectly happy doing. And I've seen people do that. I'm thinking of I Dream of Johnny. Where he's like focusing more on having the complete Pleasant Company collection. But he is always I shouldn't say always, but I mean, he seems generally quite favorable of the new things that come out.
Yeah, I get that impression too.
Even if it's not the focus of his collection, but like he always seems to give a good perspective on it. Yeah. And can speak from the company's point of view too, because he used to do graphic design and everything. And so it just seems he's got some savvy with marketing and just a bit more of the behind the scenes decisions. And I just feel like it would be terrible if they were putting out absolute utter crap. And I know that some people would argue that they are.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
My impressions as a newcomer to this, though, I think it's so nice compared to other offerings out there, compared to other 18-inch dolls. I don't know. I guess I'm just always surprised when I hear that, because I think everything is very nice quality. But again, I don't have the things from before to compare it to. So it is all relative.
Same. That is the thing for me, because I'm such a newbie. I'm coming at it from a completely different perspective. So I can understand and see the perspective of, more of the hardcore AG collectors and, why they have the criticisms they do. Totally get it. And yeah, I'm just coming from a different place. So for me, as a newbie, I'm just taking it all in. So like when I'm seeing these new things, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, no, but people are really hating it. Oh, interesting.
I feel bad if it would discourage anyone who is also new and considering it. And if they go in and then they hear all this about it, like I hope it wouldn't block.
I hope so. Like I would
other newcomers to it, because
I agree. And I think I would say, it seems like in the doll collector community, I would say I would like to think a good majority of people just let others enjoy their collections. And it's just like, just be happy and let them have their joy and not poo-poo on the types of dolls that they want to collect, right? So, okay, if this style of American Girl isn't for you, fair enough. And also, it gives this person joy, that's wonderful, you know?
Completely. Right. And as you've said, everyone's entitled to their opinions and to share their opinion. It's just that I guess it just makes me feel bad if someone did get their first American Girl product and they're super excited and then they stumble upon something online.
Yeah, where it's like shitting all over. Yeah.
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 And then all of a sudden be like, oh, and because it is a little pricier, like second guessing and whatever and questioning. I don't know. I hope no one has that kind of
I hope so too.
Pure pressure with it, because I mean, obviously it hasn't affected me. I'm just more entertained by the controversy. I'm just like, what else, you know, because the modern era on Instagram, I looked at their post for that. And I mean, I think maybe one person said something favorable.
Well, I guess we shall see what comes next. It's never a dull day in American Girl world.
It's not.
So what are your plans? Oh, I just noticed, people, excuse the Peekaboo Rose. That is my tarot YouTube channel. Never mind that. I totally forgot to change that. Please ignore. You are on the doll coven. But so what are your plans for like future AG acquisitions? Like, are you, because you had mentioned a certain fandom that you are very much interested in, that you would like to customize an 18-inch if they don't make one themselves, which, my gosh, this would be a perfect fandom to make an American Girl doll out of.
So that is where, because I had the idea before knowing about a reboot of how I could make my own Buffy.
Yeah.
So yes, I have been going to Etsy, eBay, looking for very specific things that could recreate or at least give a nod to an iconic Buffy look.
Yeah.
And the doll that already exists, because I mean, you could do a create your own, but I mean, those are very expensive. Not quite there yet. But an existing doll that they have that I think would be perfect would be Isabel Hoffman, one of the 1999 twins, because she's got the blonde hair. She's even got her highlights. She's got the green eyes like Sarah Michelle Gellar. And so I just thought, that's her. Buy her, customize her clothes. But then when the reboot news came around, and then American Girl is doing these collabs like Wednesday, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes, there's good probability something like that could happen. But of course, there's no evidence, you know, and I'm trusting that it's scouring the web, that if there was any sort of deal struck with, I don't know, Disney, would it be for the rights?
I don't know
who all holds what Buffy rights, but yeah, I've been wondering, and it has helped me to hold off on getting Isabel to see, like, oh, should I wait for this to come out on Hulu, see if it gets picked up as a series and see how well it does, if something could come up, or am I going to be impatient and just make my own anyway? I actually would also like to acquire a 14.5-incher.
Really?
Yeah.
Have anyone in mind?
I'm going to pick someone of the modern era. Controversial. Yeah, because I think that they're adorable.
Yeah, and so I do too. And I would love to hear about it. I'd be like, please send me pictures. Tell me all the details.
You know who I think it would likely be? Only because I was low-key already considering Samantha, like as an 18-inch, only because, to bring up I Dream of Johnny again, he kept customizing a mini me, but it was a child, which I don't see often. And that kind of got in my head though, like, oh, what doll would be as like a little kid? And actually Samantha like ticks all the boxes, other than my hair was much straighter, but the bangs, I did have dark brown eyes until my teens, and she's got the dark brown hair. It's darker than my sister has, and so I was like, she does kind of look like me as a little kid. So I was kind of like thinking, oh, if I ever wanted to go that route, the childhood mini me, it would be Samantha. But I'm like, I don't. They're so large. I really don't want to have a large collection of these because they do take up space.
They do,
and it's really like, I don't need to have that. But like, yeah, with this smaller one coming in at a lower cost point, I feel more justified just being like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And her outfit is so cute. But I would say that for all of them, honestly, looking at all 6 of them, I will not be surprised, Julie, if I get more than one, to be honest.
They're adorable. And like I said, I'm really supportive of this smaller frame. I think there are pros, people. I'm just saying. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was such a fun chat. And
thank you.
I always love talking dolls with you. So, and thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below on the new releases, on the adult novel, anything you'd like to talk about. Yes. All right. Thanks again. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.